Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Fercola Mountain Park. My name is Swoop there, and here we are in our beta Prehistoric Kingdom Park. I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to finally have started building this park. We'll start off by saying, unfortunately, this Aviary episode was supposed to be up a little bit earlier than it is. The reason it's not is because it has been built twice, and I'm not actually kidding. The first time I built it, unfortunately, I didn't realise that the autosaves have been removed from beta for now, and then I accidentally, stupidly, exited out, and I was like, oh, I won't have lost too much, no stress. The autosaves kind of will have kicked in, and I will have a little bit of my, just a little bit missing, and I'll have to go back and fill that in. Anyway, I opened the park and everything was gone. Like, I'd literally finished this entire build pretty much, including the backstage area, and unfortunately it was gone. So I'm popping a picture in here of the original. I happened to take like a screenshot of it, oddly, I guess because I wanted to put it on Discord, and I then when I went back in, I was like, oh no. And so I popped the screenshot into Discord, and I was like, it's gone forever. It's not. I mean, I've built it again. And to be fair, I think it probably looks a bit better the second time round. Plus, it didn't take me half as long to build the second time round. So the video itself was much easier to edit because there was way less footage. So look, I mean, every cloud has a silver lining, doesn't it? So for the episode today, I am building a Microraptor aviary. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the Microraptors themselves, and the reason for that is because I have actually done so in a previous episode where I talked about the Microraptors and the Archaeopteryx together, and that is in my desert mini park. So I'll add a card in here up in the corner, and if you'd like to see that, you can. I also I'm adding sort of some realistic features into this park, and I'm trying to make backstage areas a lot more realistic. So at the moment, I'm putting in a couple of holding pens for the Microraptors, or maybe they might pop them in there, if they're unwell or sick and they need to be separated from the rest of them or have less flying space. So I pop those in, and I put like a little implied shutter so they can open them and close them as need be. And then the rest of the whole structure is the aviary itself. It doesn't look that big, but it's actually really, really tall. So it's like quite high. So there's two sections. There's the top section and then the bottom section. And the bottom section is still taller than what a person is standing up. So it is really tall, but really just not that wide, I suppose. So anyway, I'm popping in this kind of next section up. I sort of wanted it to be implied that they had like a little bit of space to go up into the roof away from the guests, so they could get away from view if they wanted to and be high up, because I think that they would enjoy that. So they can kind of glide up in there and hide away in there. But really, I'll let you guys know in my video, the reason this was done was because the roof was just a pain to, I guess, make look good, because of the way that I wanted the aviary to be almost rounded in a way on one side. And so I popped that structure in so that it was easier to make the roof look half decent. I think what I've decided to do with the aviary is make it look as though it's an older structure that has been not pre-existing, but has been there since basically the park has opened. So I'm going to be doing a few older and newer structures throughout the park. So this is supposed to be a bit of an older one that's kind of not been repurposed like it's always been an aviary, but it does look like, an older kind of architecture, I suppose. And this is what sort of they've got by the entranceway, and they've tried to spruce it up with, a couple of new signs, and there's a lot of established plants and foliage around it, which make it look decent, but it is supposed to look sort of a little bit older, not necessarily run down, but just not a new kind of modern aviary, I suppose. The Microraptors themselves are in there on their own. I didn't want to do a dual habitat to start with because I do have an idea in mind for the Archaeopteryx. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit more modern for the Archaeopteryx, but kind of nearby to the Microraptors, so you can kind of see, I guess, like the difference between the two types of architecture that I've gone for. But also I think that would probably work in well, with keepers and so on. You'd kind of want the aviaries close together. I am looking at putting in some backstage area. It's not in this video, and it probably won't be in the real-time part either, because I've had a lot of suggestions online, and if you want to give me any suggestions, please drop them below in the comments. But one of the suggestions was try and make the staff areas, excuse me, the staff areas a bit more central. And I totally get that. I totally think that that is like more realistic. You'd sort of have them central and then you'd have a bunch of habitats around them. I think for the aviaries, I'll probably give them a little staff area. And then I'm going to try and plan out the rest of the park as best I can. Not necessarily what prehistoric creatures are going in each habitat, but kind of where the next few habitats will be situated, so I can plan out the staff areas. I'm looking at making it a lot more detailed, and I'm looking forward to doing that, with all the little pieces that we have, like the buckets and the crates and the wheelbarrows, and even just small things like the air conditioning ducts. I'm looking forward to adding those onto the entrance building and things like that. I even went in and added the solar panels that you can see there on the right. I ended up adding those on the entrance building roof. So when we go through in the real-time part, I will show you all of these things, and we can talk a little bit about some of the things that I will add in the next few days, possibly off camera, because there's only so much you can put into one of these speed builds. The speed build for this video itself is about 13 minutes long, and I think that's almost as long as a speed build really should be. I've cut out quite a lot, as you will notice, but I think you see all the important parts is what I'm trying to say. You see, kind of a bit of detailing, most of the big building, and yeah, I think that's all that most people do want to see. I am going to do a little bit of streaming in the next day or two, maybe some gardening. Maybe I will build a habitat on stream. I'm not very good at building and streaming because I find that I try to talk to people and it ends up making my building incredibly slow. I'm already a pretty slow builder as it is, so chatting to people and trying to build at the same time is not ideal, but I think I will give it a go. So if you're keen to join me, that will be happening in the next day or two. I'm going to try and put up a schedule for the next, fortnight to 3 weeks while the Christmas period's sort of happening and Christmas, New Year. I'm not going to be around for Christmas and New Year, but I am beavering away in the background trying to get at least 3 or 4 episodes, pre-recorded, so that you have 1 or 2 episodes per week. I also have a new Planet Zoo series coming out, which is not strictly, let me say, but I've made it for people that are brand new to Planet Zoo, that sort of might open Planet Zoo and feel completely overwhelmed, and it's kind of like a play along with me series. So you can have Planet Zoo in the windowed mode, and I show people how to do that, and then you can sort of jump between the video and Planet Zoo, so you can actually play the game along with me and build what I'm building. So if you are getting Planet Zoo for Christmas, or you are new to Planet Zoo, that will be something that you might be interested in watching. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I will let you finish watching me build with a little bit of music. I'm about to go in and do a lot of gardening, and it looks nice, let me tell you. I'm quite happy with the way that it turned out. I will pop some nice quiet music on. I found some really good tracks, and I'm really liking the new music that I've found. So let me know what you think of the music itself. I am aware that some of it was getting repetitive in my old parks, and I want to try and avoid that this time. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are enjoying my content, please do give this a like and a comment. It's really helpful for new creators, and I will see you in the real-time part at the end, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back from the speed build, and here we are outside the Microraptor Aviary, or Aviary depending on what you prefer to call it. It is early morning here in Fercola Mountain Park. I have set it to kind of as the sun's coming up. I really enjoy this lighting. I will change it to the sort of middle of the day shortly and sort of show you around during that lighting as well. So we have a staff only gate over this side, and they can walk around to the backstage area, which unfortunately is not built at the moment. I was talking in the speed build about how I lost my first build, and I was going to put out this episode a lot sooner than I actually did, and I did have the backstage area all built and looking good, but I have decided that I'm going to go with something slightly different, and I am going to build it again. So I will do that off camera and show you guys around in the next episode. So I've got this little garden bed over this side, just, you know, some ferns and so on, and then the door to the Microraptor habitat is just in this side here. And then you've got your implied sign here for the Microraptors, and then you've got some garden beds and so on, some established garden beds here, and then you've got the aviary itself. It's supposed to look like it has been there for quite some time, like it's not supposed to be the most modern looking aviary. I did even put in like the gutters and the piping. I've popped in some, I guess, little floor grates here, so when the rain comes rushing out, you know, it kind of falls down here. It would be better if it kind of, the aviary was kind of moved across here a little bit. I might even move the garden bed itself so it's off. You can hear the little Microraptors in there making those little sounds. There's quite a few in there. I did have to go in and pop them back in because they do delete. Sort of, they just kind of, when you save and then exit and go back in, they disappear. So you have to kind of breed them every time you jump back into the game. And then around here we have another staff only gate or entrance with even sort of, you put in the, I guess, what are these called? The things that help the gate swing open. God, help me out, guys. I've got no idea what they're called. And then, yeah, we've got, you know, another floor grate there. And then you have some options. You can go back the way you came, or you can head on down this way. I'm really enjoying this lighting, guys. So let's head into the Microraptor aviary and have a little look at them. So this is sort of the view that you get as a guest. You come right up to the bars and you can see them. They're climbing up and so on, or we just head in because we can. And then here we are. We're inside the aviary. Let's go down and have a little look at them here. Hello, guys. How you doing? The animations are kind of on a loop for these smaller aviaries, which I don't mind. Like, they still look so lifelike, and you've got a couple that swoop around and glide around. You can see that one going there, and this one over here, we'll do it again in a second, I believe. Yeah, there they go, and down into here. Yeah, so it just looks so great, and then he will then hop along here and climb back up the tree and kind of loop back again. So they're all in loops. Just ignore kind of the inside of the build. I didn't really bother with that because you can't see it from the outside. Then you've got the little, I guess, implied areas where you can pop them if they're unwell, or a holding area for them. I guess if you've got a new one that you're kind of trying to integrate into the group. And I've popped some rocks and just some smaller foliage around so that it looks a little bit more lifelike than just the kind of dead trees that are in there. So let's head on out, and I'll change the time of day and we can have another look at what it looks like, I guess, in the daylight. I'll turn around here. There we go. And then we're kind of back to the view that we had at the start. And then let's change this time of day. Right, so as the sun kind of comes up, there we go. So you can see also in the background, they've really fixed up that haze. If I pop a picture in of my first Microraptor build again, I'll pop it down here and you'll just see like the haze in the background compared to now. And it's exactly around the same time of day. Actually, this is about more like that. It was around this time of day where I took the screenshot last time, and even the haze was right in these trees right here, so it's looking so much better already. I also popped these solar panels on the roof here. I don't mind them. I've decided that this entrance building, despite being amazing, and I really am happy with it, it is a little bit too tall. Like when the guests are in here, they are literally dwarfed by this building. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it doesn't look so ridiculous when they are in it. But aside from that, I'm really happy with what's happened, what we've built so far, guys. Let me know what you think. I am going to pop in a staff area back in here, and then in the next episode, we're going to start building off here to this side. So let me know what you think of the park so far down in the comments. Are you enjoying this biome itself? And aside from that, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting me. I really enjoy reading your comments and chatting to you guys online. It's something that is really important to me as a content creator. I really value your opinions and your thoughts and just everyone that watches my content. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. Even if you're not into commenting, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. And guys, I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.